Who do I look like? Okay. So I realized that I need to film an intro for this, but you know, I'm not very good at intros, so I just normally start talking. I'm talking already. So, hey there. Long time no see. It's been a hot minute since I read Twilight for the first time. I think it was May. It was May. Oh my gosh, we're in August now. Oh. I've had a hair change since then. I've had a haircut and I dyed it. Why does that look? Oh, that looks so terrible. Yeah, it was May that I first read Twilight for the first time, and I was like, I vlogged the experience. I made a video on it, and so it is finally, like 3 months later, I'm starting New Moon. Yup, it's happening. It's happening. I'm currently taking part in the Scallywagathon. It's a pirate-themed readathon. We love pirates. And one of the prompts was to read a book that had romance in it, and I thought, well, I think it's time. It is time to take the plunge and go on to the second one. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this one because I feel like this one has a bit more of a love triangle than the first one does. I'm a little bit nervous. Just look how happy they are to be taking part in this experience. So let's kick off our journey back to Forks. Greetings, loved ones. Let's take a journey. I know a place. Okay, so I'm just reading the acknowledgements here at the start, and I stumbled upon this. Thanks to all my siblings, Emily, Heidi, Paul, Seth, and Jacob, for letting me borrow your names. I hope I didn't do anything with them that makes you wish you hadn't. I mean, I don't know about the rest of them, but in the last book, you have your boy Jacob imprinting on a baby. So if I was Jacob, I hope I didn't do anything with them that makes you wish you hadn't. If I was Jacob, I would be pissed. Alright. When I like to write, I tend not to use names of people that like are in my day-to-day life. I just choose names that I find really pretty. I don't think I could. Oh no. She named. Like, I get that she used a lot of her siblings' names for like the werewolves and stuff. And that's fine, I guess, if you want to do that, because the werewolves were fine. But to name one of your love interests after your brother? Oh no. I don't know about that. I do not know about that. And he imprinted on a baby. No. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's not until the 4th book. We're only in book 2. I really like this poem that she made, like thanking the musicians who inspired her when she says, there are emotions, scenes, and plot threads in this novel that were born from muse songs and would not exist without their genius. I find a lot of times when I'm writing, or even just planning in general, I love, bitch, what are you looking at? I love like listening to like music, and if the words are telling a story, sometimes they can be so influential in your writing. I love that. Oh, yo, do you remember when books used to do contents? I miss that. I miss like content pages in books. These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph dies like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, scene. I don't know my Roman numerals. What's VI? Is that 4? That's 6. I felt like I was trapped in one of those terrifying nightmares. The ones where you have to run till your lungs burst, but you can't make your body move fast enough. My legs seemed to move slower and slower as I fought my way through the callous crowd, but the hands on the huge clock tower didn't slow. With relentless, uncaring force, they turned what is that word? Inexorably toward the end of everything. But this was no dream, and unlike the nightmare, I wasn't running for my life. I was racing to save something infinitely more precious. My own life meant little to me today. Bella, girl, they're vampires. They're gonna be fine. You're human. You won't die. Party. I already forgot how much I hated the fact that Bella is so determined to be turned into a vampire. and Edward is so against it. And I feel like, but Edward, that's not your choice, boo. This is where I feel like the flaws come in to Twilight. Because Edward loves Bella, Bella loves Edward. They basically he acts as if he can't live without her or whatever. He's obsessed with her, he loves her, right? What's his game plan, right? Because she is gonna get older. I said this in my Twilight video, but she is gonna get older every single year. And yeah, to begin with, it won't make much difference because she'll still look young in her 20s. But how long does he reckon they can actually see each other? And if she is fully committed to becoming a vampire, she's 18 now, let her make the damn choice. Let her make the switch. Let her change. Then that way you can be together forever. The only outcome for this novel series was that Bella had to become a vampire. She just had to, because otherwise it won't work. I'm so sick of her complaining about her birthday. It's doing my head in. So, let me get this straight. Jacob is 16 and Bella's 18? Alright. But Taylor Lautner did not look 16 in that movie.
On the jockey, serious sibling rivalry, no G. To Paris for a year to do some serious au pairing. That's this time where you are, Chasers put.
He's back. Why do I always leave my bedroom door open? I said this in another video that I'm so paranoid, like leaving my bedroom door open, that I'm worried that if like I'm say looking out the window or I'm just looking away, I'm not looking here, and when I go back to view my footage I'll see something like a shadowy figure walk by. Could you imagine? So last night I sat down and I did quite a bit of reading of New Moon. I was hoping to get it finished but not quite, and I was reading some again this morning and I'm like, I'm here. I'm so close to the end. We've just been to Italy, met the Volturi, and I'm now on page 427 and I think there's about 490, it's 497. Are you kidding me? I still have 70 pages to go? What? It doesn't look like 70? Oh well. So I'm doing really well with that. So I haven't really been filming an awful lot of like my reactions to things because I feel like, unlike the first book, I wasn't rolling my eyes as much. Like I was rolling my eyes, but like it's been different than the first one. The first one I think I had a lot of issues with. As a whole, I'm not a massive Bella fan. I don't stand the bitch. I feel like she's so problematic. There's times I don't mind her. I feel like book Bella is a lot better than movie Bella. I will put that out there. And I don't want to put that straight on to like Kristen Stewart and just how she portrayed her. The directors, the script writers, everything, you know, they were directing her. If they didn't like the way she was portraying Bella, they could have intervened. You know, they cast her in the role. So I ain't putting this solely on Kay Stew. But I do feel like the way they portrayed movie Bella was just a bit plain and bland, and yeah, she maybe had a few moments where she was a bit sarcastic or whatever. I don't really remember them. It's been a while since I've watched the movies, but I don't remember that Bella. So I feel like book Bella, when you take away her love for vampires and her obsession with Edward, removing that, I feel like as a character she's pretty good. You know, she's okay, she's not a very good friend, but she is a good friend. She's been a good friend to Jacob, stuff like that. I feel like as a character, you know, she's actually not that bad. She's just a bit problematic with the sheer fact that she is so dependent on these men in her life. Like, Edward dumps her and leaves for her own safety because of what happened with Jasper and everything. And she lies down in the forest and she goes into a depressive state for 3 months. 3 months? And everybody's worried about her, and it's like, oh my god, Bella, I get it. Breakups suck. Breakups suck so much. But you do eventually get over them. I think the thing is as well that gets me is I just don't get why as a character she's been portrayed this way, that she's so obsessed with her boyfriend. Like, yeah, it's great to maybe love your boyfriend and maybe be like a little bit obsessed with them to the point that you're just really in love, but like to the obsession that she has where she's like she doesn't want to live without him, and the whole Romeo and Juliet aspect between the two of them, I can't. This is why I don't like romance novels. This is why I don't like romance in my books. I can't deal with it. I just can't. That aside, I have to admit, so far I've been loving New Moon a lot more than I liked the first novel, and I think that's mainly because seeing Bella's friendship with Jacob was great. I'm in love with book Jacob. I feel like he's there for Bella, and he sort of understands the boundaries. He gets it. Like, from what I remember I feel like maybe it was just the movie portrayed this really badly. I feel like the movie portrayed it worse, that they implemented this whole love triangle thing quite early on. I don't know, it's been so long since I've seen the movies, I would have to watch them again, but I do feel like the way it was portrayed in the movies just wasn't that great. I didn't really feel that kind of friendship from them. Then again, that was maybe just because of the way the actors portrayed the characters, but in this I really felt that warmth and that kind of connection they had, and it was great to see that her friendship with Jacob really filled the void that Edward left behind. That is fine in a sense. I just hate the whole fact that Bella is so dependent on these men in her life that it's as if she can't live without them. She keeps talking about like how her heart feels like it's getting ripped out, or she's got like a hole in her heart and all this kind of garbage, and it's like, oh my god, Bella, suck it up and be a feminist for once in your life. Save yourself. Be your own saving grace. Just help yourself. You don't need one person to fill the void of another. You don't. Ugh. And then when she found out about like all the werewolves and stuff and the way everybody carries on, like, yeah, I'm team werewolf. I was team Edward when I was a teenager and I loved the movies and I was so obsessed with like vampires and everything. I was team Edward all the way. I'm now book Jacob. Book Jacob. Well, yeah, book Jacob. I was movie Edward. Now I'm book Jacob. If I had to pick between someone who was like really hot and someone who was really cold, I'm gonna pick that werewolf. Plus it's like having a little pet. no, that's bestiality, man. What the hell? So I've really actually been enjoying the lack of vampires, which is, sorry Edward, sorry to the Cullens, but I've really been enjoying her. And when she was referencing like herself and Emily saying like we were wolf girls, I was like, yes, we're wolf girls, woohoo! But then obviously Alice came back, and then there's the whole thing with like Edward going to the Volturi. He thinks Bella's dead. This is my major con with this book that I can't get behind. I feel like it's just not well thought out in a sense. Is the whole fact that when Edward thinks that Bella's dead, he decides to go to the Volturi to kill himself, or to have himself be killed because he wants to die. And it's like, well, what is your grand plan with Bella? I said this in my video when I was reacting to Twilight. What is his grand plan with Bella? He doesn't want her to become a vampire. He wanted to be with her, but now he doesn't want to be with her for her own safety. But he obviously still loves her and he's obsessed with her. They've all left. They're leaving him alone, leaving Bella alone. So like, oh, it's as if we were never here kind of thing. But now he's heard that she's died, and now he wants to go kill himself. And it's like, well, what was your plan? Alice made a comment about how like he didn't want her like basically keeping tabs on Bella, but she ended up finding out that she was dead. So it's like, if Bella died and you didn't know about it, were you just gonna carry on with your life? Like, it's too complex in a way, and I feel like it just doesn't make sense that Edward wants to die because Bella would be dead, and it's like, but she's gonna die anyway. Unless you turn her into a vampire, she's gonna age and die anyway. Were you planning on just staying out of her life, and then maybe you heard that like Bella died of old age, and then you're gonna die? But why stay alive this whole time? Why is everybody so obsessed with Bella Swan? Honestly, I can see why Jacob maybe like forms a crush on her and stuff because they've been hanging out, and that's fine. But why is Edward so obsessed with her to the point that he would actually rather die? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why not just turn it into a freaking vampire? That would have saved so many problems in this book. Moving on from that as well. So that part just really doesn't sit right with me. Also as well, I don't know if it ever gets explained further down the line, but why is Bella immune to all these vampire powers? I don't get it. She met the Volturi and that Jane bitch couldn't hurt her with her whatever that power is that she's got. What even is that power? Is it just like a give someone else pain? Oh, look at that big dog out there. That's so beautiful. Anyway, yeah, but there's Jane's powers, and then there's Arrow's thing. Arrow. Is it pronounced Arrow? Like an arrow? Like a arrow? I'm gonna call him Arrow anyway. Michael Sheen. Is it Michael Sheen played him? Yeah? Am I making that up? Yeah, it was Michael Sheen. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he has that whole thing of like if he touches your hand, he not only can like read your mind, but he can like basically scan your whole past. That's nice. Must be nice to have a vampire ability. Why is it that it doesn't work on Bella? They try stuff on her and nothing happens, and it's like, ooh, fascinating, but why? Why? I didn't even really understand why Edward couldn't read her thoughts. I really couldn't. Then I kind of speculated, oh well, is it because they've got this sort of great connection? But I don't get it. These are the kind of things that I hate in books where like one character is suddenly exempt from something and it's like oh, this doesn't work on you. I don't know why, but it doesn't. Like, why is she so special? At the end of the day, she is just a human, right? Unless there is some sort of secret thing that I don't know about. Also, yeah, that's something else I want to say. That whole thing, oh yeah, a couple more things with Bella. I can't believe I forgot these. First of all, this whole thing of like her basically being like an adrenaline junkie, and every time she puts herself in danger, she hears Edward's voice in her mind, and it's like so clear. It's like, what is that? What honestly is that? Like, I genuinely thought for a while that it was actually Edward doing it, but I was like, well, how could he? What is that? Is that genuinely just her subconscious? When every time she puts herself in danger, her subconscious just magically makes Edward appear, and he's like, Bella, don't do anything reckless. Be careful. And she's just like, Yoda! I don't get it. What is that? And then as well, something else that was bothering me for a while. Bella and her dreams. Bella is just a remarkable young woman. Really she is. The fact that she dreams about things and like she's dreaming the same dreams. Now that's fair enough. People can dream the same dreams. I have heard of that happening. I don't think I've ever experienced that myself. But like the fact that she dreams kind of the same dreams. And then she had like a dream about Jacob turning into a werewolf. And I was like, what? My dreams are just nonsense. Like, honestly, my dreams are pure nonsense. So why is it that she's having dreams? I mean, it's plot convenience. That's what it is. This is plot convenience. That she's having dreams that's relating to what's happening in life, and these dreams are helping her to understand what's going on. That's so lucky! So I feel like that's just a bit of plot convenience, the fact that she has these kind of vivid dreams that's relating to like her real life and helping her understand things. Something else. What is something else? What else? Oh yeah, I remember that. This is just dumb though, but when I was reading it last night at one point, there was a sentence in the book and it said like, I think it was Billy, and it said he was eating cold cereal. And I was like, but unless I'm mistaken, is it all cereal cold? Like, I don't get why the book said, like, it could have just said he was eating cereal, but it said he was eating cold cereal. And I was like, cereal is cold. Unless you're having something like porridge that you, like, heat it up. Cereal's cold. Cereal's cold anyway. You know, you had your cereal, you had your milk. Milk is stored in the fridge. Therefore, it's cold. Why did it say he was eating cold cereal? Like, it was some sort of, like, you could have just said he was eating cereal. I don't know why this bugged me, but it bugged me. Because I was like, that doesn't... Yeah, it makes sense, because the cereal will be cold. But why did you feel the need to tell us that it was cold cereal? Because all cereal is technically cold if you're eating it with milk, which has been stored in the fridge. Unless you leave your milk out, which wouldn't surprise me if you did, Bella. It really would surprise me. I'm getting off into a tangent now, but I really think that was kind of everything I wanted to discuss so far. I've still got the ending to go. Something else I will kind of say, though. Like I said, I'm very much Team Jacob at the minute, which is a bit fruitless, because there's absolutely no point in being Team Jacob because we all know what happens. I'm a little bit disappointed now that, like, I'm such a fan, and I feel like I really enjoyed this book just for her friendship with Jacob and just the kind of the relationship with the wolves, and I feel like I like the wolves. I hope to see them a lot more in, like, Eclipse and that. I have read part of Breaking Dawn years ago. It was the only book that I actually sort of read, and that was because I had the books and I'd never ever seen the last 2 movies. Still haven't. I've said this so many times. I started to read Breaking Dawn at one point because I just wanted something to read, and I'd obviously seen the first 3 movies, so I didn't bother reading the first 3 books, although I had them. I've had the set for years, and I decided to read it, and I got like 3/4 of the way into it, and I felt like I was a bit kind of like, not put off. I didn't really like the story all that much, so it was a bit kind of like, meh. I just didn't really like it, I remember. Where was I going with that? I kind of lost my train of thought. Yeah, so from what I remember, like, the wolves in it, it wasn't really all that much, but I don't really remember. I just remember, like, they wanted to kill her child, or they wanted to get rid of her child, but then Jacob imprinted on it, and I was like, what? That was a whole mess. That was a whole mess. Who let Stephanie Meyer write that book? Honestly, my love for Jacob definitely just feels a bit pointless, and it's a shame because I really enjoy it in this book, and I love her friendship with him, and it feels a lot more sincere and genuine, and I genuinely felt like she was starting to see that she could maybe have like a relationship with him. She never quite got further than that, but she was starting to kind of change her mind, and I was like, yes. But then obviously everything's happened with Edward, and now he's back on the scene, and it's instantly like, Jacob who? Hi Edward, I love you so much, can't live without you, change me, turn me into a vampire. Honestly, Bella, like, her obsession, it's, I mean, God knows, how would you react if vampires and wizards and magical creatures existed? If I found a vampire or a werewolf, or maybe like a wizard, and they were good looking, yeah, I'd probably try and hold on to that man because I'd feel so special. I'd be like, yes, my magical boyfriend. Woo! She just wants that vampire D. She knows she ain't getting any. Backtracking again, back to what I was saying. I think one of the things that always kind of got to me though with this series was like, they phrased it. They phrased it as like a love triangle, but at the end of the day, it was never truly a love triangle to the point where she was so caught up about it. It was more the fact that Bella wanted to be with Edward forever and ever. Jacob was on the scene, and Jacob just didn't really want to be in her life, and so she sort of just led him on so that he would stay in her life, basically. That's what it was. That wasn't really a love triangle as such, because she was always going to pick Edward. I feel like, even from this book, like, even though obviously, well, I knew, if you were reading for the first time and you didn't know the rest of the series, you might think to yourself, oh, I don't know, she might pick Jacob, but it's still very obvious that if Edward was there, she was going to pick Edward. Edward's like her one and only. Oh my god, the phone's ringing. I completely forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I think I was just talking about like the love triangle and how I feel like it's a bit messed up. But I genuinely do feel like, in terms of love triangles, it wasn't great. It's not great. I don't know why I'm talking about the series as a whole when I haven't even read the books, but I feel like it's so obvious that she's always gonna choose Edward. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the Cullens, they're all great. I just can't abide by Edward's obsession with Bella, Bella's obsession with Edward. They're meant for each other. He's obsessed with her, she's obsessed with him. It's meant to be. Jacob just deserved better. Then again, he imprinted on a baby, so. So I've only got a little bit to go. I've got about 70 pages. So I hope I get that finished today, and then I'll maybe talk about the ending after that's done, but I feel like I've kind of touched upon everything so far. I just feel like Edward's gonna come back now, and it's gonna be back to Bella being persistently wanting to be with Edward, and I mean, I liked Eclipse actually. As a movie, Eclipse was probably my favourite. I didn't really like New Moon, but I feel like in terms of book-wise, yeah, I liked New Moon. I liked it a lot. I think their friendship was so cute and it was actually so well done. And you know what? Kudos to Jacob for actually respecting her boundaries. Even though he kind of did what I wouldn't actually like in real life, where he kept holding her hand or putting his arm around her. Like, I have male friends like that, where at some point you know they would have quite liked to pursue a relationship with you. They maybe have asked you out and you're kind of like, no, let's just be friends. And they do get a bit like, I don't want to use the word touchy-feely, but they're like, they'll try to like put their arm around you, just try and be close to you, and it's like, whoa, back it up, bitch, back it up. Personal space, please. So I'm not really down for that kind of, it's like friends don't hold hands. Well, they sometimes maybe do. I've got nothing against friends holding hands, but if you're my friend and you're a guy friend, please don't hold my hand. You ain't my man. No thank you. So that was my thoughts. 70 pages to go. I kind of love the Volturi though. Like, I'm living for it. I think I just love everybody in this book apart from Bella. No, that's not a lie. As a main character, she's fine. She's just flawed. She's incredibly flawed. So let's continue on with this. I'm definitely not reading Midnight Sun after all this, because reading the same story from Edward's perspective? Edward? I'd rather read it from Charlie. Let's have a book from Charlie's perspective. The man had no clue what was going on in his town. That would be like the best. Team Charlie. Guess who just finished? Oh. Guess who just finished New Moon? Okay, so I'm a little pissed. I'm a little pissed at the ending, how Jacob was like basically saying goodbye. Him and Bella were having a little moment, and you know, he was kind of like reaching out to her and she went forward to him, but Edward held her back. He said, nope. And I was like, a minute ago you were just thanking him for looking after your girl while you were gone, and now you're being a little bitch. You're being a little bitch, Edward. You're being a little bitch. Final thoughts on this book? I'm giving this book a 4-star. I've officially decided, because why not? I guess, why not? It was pretty good, and I did enjoy Bella's relationship with Jacob and their little friendship, and I loved that there was like no Cullens in this, which is a shame because I do like the Cullens, but I feel like I love the Cullens like in the movie, whereas like in this, I feel like it's just so, they're put on this pedestal, and it's like, we get a Stephanie Meyer, you love your vampire family, but you know, whatever. I really struggle with this series, I think, just because Bella is just so, she's so problematic, she's so dependent on her man, the relationship they have is so unhealthy. Like, they spend 24 hours of the day with each other. They're at school together. He'll come to her house after school and hang out with her on the off chance that she's not working, but it doesn't surprise me if he actually hangs out at work with her. It wouldn't surprise me. It honestly wouldn't. He comes to her house like after school and they hang out, and then eventually like he leaves, but he doesn't actually leave. It's just so Charlie thinks he's left, but really he's sneaking in her bedroom window and they're spending every night together, but they don't actually like get up to no good, so it's okay. That is not healthy. That is so not healthy. That's not a healthy relationship. I'm not down for this. Have some independence, have something in your life. And she's so determined to become a vampire. It's like, oh my god. But then Edward's reasoning for not changing her, like, even still, they gloss over the fact how like he says how he doesn't want to change her and take away her soul and her human-like qualities, but he wants to be with her forever and ever. And she's like, but I'm gonna grow old, but like, I'm gonna die. We wouldn't be able to be seen together when I'm a woman. And it's like, yeah, of course, but he's clearly not thought it through. He's dumb. He's honestly dumb. Are all vampires like obsessive this way? Like, oh my god, this is what I can't get. I don't like romance like this. This kind of unhealthy, obsessive romance where it's like, oh, I would die for you. I would die for you, Bella. I would die for you, Edward. I'd die if you weren't here. That's my final thoughts on this book. I feel like the story is fine. I'm not ready for Eclipse. I'm gonna wait another 3 months before I read Eclipse because I am not ready to go down that road again. Honestly. So that's the end. That's the end of New Moon. That's the end of this video. That's the end of my sanity and my patience. So thank you so much for watching this video. It's a bit sporadic and I don't even know how long this is going to be once I put it all together. I don't even think the chuckle count got to that much because Edward wasn't around to chuckle so much. He was the one that did all the chuckling last time. But there were a few. There were a few. Jacob chuckled a couple of times. I think Bella even chuckled at one point. It's like, the chuckle count probably only reached like about 10. So final chuckle count, I think that's everything to talk about with New Moon. I'm giving it 4 stars because I gave Twilight 4 stars. It's problematic, it's unhealthy, and Bella Swan is the worst role model. Yep, that about sums it up. So thank you for watching this video, and I shall see you in the next one, whatever that may be. Honestly, why can't I just find like a boyfriend that's got like magical powers or some sort of supernatural being? That would be goals. I wouldn't want to lose him either, so I guess I gotta give Bella some credit. What would I actually want the vampire werewolf? Vampire would like definitely worry me too much. So like the way like Bella describes them, I honestly don't know how she enjoys being around Edward because it's like he's cold, he's like stone, their skin's like stone, it's like hugging a brick wall kind of thing, and it's like, that sounds like your boyfriend's a statue. And then like the werewolves are like really warm, so I feel like I'll take a warm boyfriend. I mean, at least they're still living, they're gonna grow old with you. I would want to be a werewolf though. How do you become a werewolf? Do you have to be born into the family? What if a werewolf bites you? Would anything happen? Okay, right, I'm gonna pop off now before I end up making this video too long. But yeah, let me know if you're Team Edward or Team Jacob. I am 100% Team Jacob, even though there's absolutely no point in being Team Jacob because we all know how that goes. I'ma just live in this little New Moon bubble for the foreseeable. We'll just forget that Eclipse and Breaking Dawn never happened. Forget that Edward ever comes back. He's fine. He's fine. Bye.